Hi, it's me again. Oh gosh, my glasses are so dirty. It's day 2 of my sober journey. Day 2 of no alcohol. All alcohol products have been removed from my house. I officially dumped the trash that I showed you guys yesterday. These are producing a huge glare, so I'm just gonna not wear glasses for right now. Yeah, so I'm completely alcohol free today. So how was today? Today was very peaceful. I think last night I just kind of made a decision. There was a lot that was on my mind. There were a lot of things, the typical things that would typically kind of cause me to drink. I was kind of going through my mind. And so I just took a moment to write down prayers to the Lord, just things that were on my heart that I wanted to get off my chest. And I released it to God and I felt lighter. And I'm so happy I did that because those are the things that would cause me to want to drink. Just having a rough day, feeling heavy, and just not knowing what to do with those feelings, running to alcohol. But instead, yesterday, I just wrote all my feelings down in a prayer. And, I always thought that like praying is like, Lord, thank you. And that is praying. But prayer is also writing down your heart and talking to your Father. That's prayer. Thinking in your head, I really need your help. That's prayer. Crying out is prayer. Prayer is communication with God, I think. And so I'm like, I can write down my prayer and that's still a prayer and he'll still hear me and he'll answer me. So doing that felt amazing today and or yesterday. And I'm just very thankful that I did it and he answered me. So to kick off day 2, today is yesterday was April 5th, so today's April 6th. Silly me. Easter fell on April 5th. Today's April 6th, 2026. And today I just kind of want to talk to you guys about so every day of this journey I want to kind of share different tidbits and stories about like moments where I got drunk or chose to drink and what led me there. So the moment that I want to talk about or discuss right now is probably the drunkest that I've ever been. One of the drunkest times I've ever been. So in 2018, I went on a travel abroad trip. And in 2018, I'm 20, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm 22 years old in 2018. At this time, I was 21. I hadn't had my birthday yet. And I went on this foreign exchange trip to the Czech Republic. And on that trip, we got to visit Austria, Austria, Poland, and we landed in France. So that was a very cool trip. But during the trip, I didn't really get very drunk. I had a boyfriend at the time and I didn't want to worry my boyfriend. And so I told him, I was very communicative with him. And I would tell him like, hey, we're going out tonight. We're going to do A, B, and C. Hey, we're going out tonight and we're going to do this or whatever. And so I told him, the whole trip, for the most part, I was in direct communication with him. And for the whole trip, for the most part, I wasn't drinking like that. And I kind of maintained that. But I remember one night, I was like, you know what? I'm getting drunk tonight. I haven't gotten drunk the whole trip. And so that night, I downed 3 shots of vodka and got really drunk. So drunk that I was flirting with another guy, drinking his beer. And then I remember walking and I fell twice. And the next morning I woke up, I was severely hungover. I had a cut on my toe and my lip was kind of busted because of how drunk I was. But did I let that stop me? No, I did not. So my friend goes, hey, there's something called, after this night, my friend goes, hey, there's something called a pub crawl. And I'm like, what's a pub crawl? And basically you paid, I think it was like $21, probably more than that, to meet up at one club. You get a bunch of free drinks at this club, get really drunk, and then you go to the next club and the next club and the next club. And I think it's like 3 or 4 clubs that you go to. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So that night we get to the first club and they're all these shots and we're just taken aback. And they tasted like Jello to me. So I'm just one after the other. And I feel like somebody was like, hey, do you want a shot of absinthe? I had no idea what absinthe was. Absinthe is 80 proof alcohol. So I was like, yeah, sure. I kid you not. After like taking probably 4 or 5 shots of the regular stuff, I take absinthe. I took it back and the room goes, ooh, ooh. I literally felt like the room closed in and opened up. It's like I was in another realm, which I think is a thing when you drink. And all of a sudden, everything just feels, I'm like, oh, I'm drunk. And I get aggressive and I have to go to the bathroom and I'm telling people, excuse me, move. And I'm yelling at people and not yelling, but just being more aggressive than I typically would. And so after that pub, we move on to the second pub and the third. And I'm talking to all these people. I came to this event with a friend, but by the end of the event, I'm so drunk, I don't even know who I'm talking to. And so we make it to the last club. I've lost my friend. I don't know where she is. And I randomly find her at this club. And she's like, where have you been? And I'm like, slurring my words. And I'm like, I was looking for you. And then the next thing I know, we're in a cab on our way home. When I tell y'all that that was by the grace of God that I found her, I was so drunk, so out of my mind that I lost her at one point. I didn't even know where she was. And the fact that I randomly found her in that club, if I had not found her, I don't know how I would have made it home. If I would have made it home. And that was just God looking out for me, despite the fact that I was so incredibly drunk. So we make it back to the room, and then my phone is ringing off the hook. My boyfriend's calling. He's very worried because he hasn't heard from me. I was giving him updates and I'm texting him, and then it just stopped because I got drunker and drunker and drunker. And he was so worried and he was so upset. And I remember just being upset with him because he didn't want me to go. I remember I told him I wanted to do this pub crawl and he really didn't want me to go. He was like, I feel like it's unsafe. He was right. It was unsafe. But I was like, I'm independent. I can do what I want. I was very stubborn back then. And so I went, and because eventually we got into a big fight and he just let up. Eventually he was like, fine, do whatever you want. All that to say, that was an instance where I got to view how much this was a problem, how much drinking was a problem for me, how with drinking, one thing that I was never able to do was, and I said this yesterday, was put it down. There was no halfway point for me. I'd go all the way in. And this was a night where I went all the way in. And when I think back to that night, I was so unaware of the danger that I was putting myself in. And I'm so thankful that I know that God looked out for me. Some kind of way, God made it to where I could find my friend and make it back home. But if he had not done that, y'all, I don't know where I would have been that night. Anything could have happened to me. I was in a strange country with strange people. I mean, the people aren't strange in the Czech Republic, but I mean, I don't know these people. They don't know me. But the fact that God kept me safe, regardless of the bad decisions that I've made, I think that's what I'm so thankful for. So today on day 2, I think what I take away from this is that I just reflect on all the moments where, because of the addiction, I was willing to put myself in danger. And because of the addiction. And then I think another reason why I liked to drink was because I got confidence to speak to men when I would drink. I wasn't afraid of rejection, and I would go up to them and I would just be this bold woman who was flirtatious and whatever, and that's not who I actually am. But when I got drunk, I would become that girl. It's almost like, because alcohol, they call them spirits because it's literally a spirit. And when we get drunk, a spirit is taking over us and it's living through us. That's why when you get drunk, you feel good, but you're also very aware that you're being a different version of yourself. And it's not really a different version of yourself. It's somebody completely different. And I think I started to realize, like, oh my gosh, when I drink, a spirit is literally controlling me. And we don't want spirits to control us. We want the Holy Spirit to be in control at all times. We want him to be driving. And that is why I understand now that I have to be sober-minded. As challenging as that can be on hard days, that's the sacrifice that I have to make. And so, yeah, that's what I want us to reflect on for day 2. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow.